Hi there, it's Rodney, and thought I'd make a part two to our video that we started, and well, whatever, a continuation. Anyway, I got to looking in the Bible concerning the teachings of apostolic authority, and I found some verses that kind of interlink or parallel each other. Apocalypse or Revelation, chapter 3, verse 7 says, "And the angel of the church of Philadelphia write, These things saith the Holy One and the True One, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth and no man shutteth, shutteth and no man openeth." So this is referring to the church of Philadelphia, which God has nothing but good things to say. So that key of David that it talks about is the same keys in Matthew 16, 18, and 19. It says, "And I say to thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth, it shall be bound also in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth, it shall be loosed also in heaven." So the power of the keys were laid upon Peter. And if you don't believe that, then you go a step further and you go to the reference in Isaiah in the Old Testament where the keys were being transferred in the Davidic kingdom. And I can't remember the name of the king. I want to say it was, but I'll look it up. Let's see. It says, Isaiah 22:22, "And I will lay the keys of the house of David upon his shoulder, and he shall open, and none shall shut, and he shall shut, and none shall open." So, and obviously it's referring to Christ ultimately, but, and then the scary one comes after that. It actually talks about a peg to be removed. So I don't know if that might be referring to the papacy. We'll just leave that one for another. But if we return to the Catholic commentary on the book of Isaiah, verse 22, it says, find significant resonance in the New Testament. The first part of the verse is reminiscent of of what Jesus says to Peter when giving him the keys of the kingdom, Matthew 16:19. I already read that. In this context, or connection, it is no harm to remember that the king's high steward, as his representative, opened and closed the official court business of the day. The text of the second part of this same verse is applied in the book of Revelation to the Messiah, the Holy One, the true, who has the key of David. And because Jesus, the Messiah, as the new David, opens the door of heaven, the church liturgy in the famous O antiphons prior to Christmas extols Christ, giving him the messianic title, Key of David and Scepter of the House of Israel. You who reign over the whole world, come and free those who wait for you in darkness. And that's from the Divine Office, December 20th, antiphon at Vespers. So the church teaching on this is pretty deep, and that's like a prefigurement of I think the actual papacy, the way Christ passed on his authority. But that's only one source. That's the Opus Dei. Jose Escriva, is that his name? I have that. That's actually I kind of have enjoyed it. It's very well done the way it's printed. But yeah, it was done by Jose Escriva, his organization, which I think is the Opus Dei. I think it said that in here. I was just making sure I didn't misquote. Very well done though, and the Navarre Bible. And it's like several volumes. It covers the whole Bible. It's just I wanted to make sure, but I know I read that somewhere that it was done by his organization, because I was reading some of the pre-notes. Okay, here it is. Saint Jose Maria. Okay. And anyway, Opus Dei. Okay. So, close enough. We get the idea. Anyway, interesting comment on that, because they found the same links between those verses, between Isaiah 22 and Matthew and then Revelation. They kind of put it all together, and I found the same thing. But we have another guy, Scott Hahn here, to see if he concurs. And I don't know, I want to just go to Isaiah and see, but maybe in the Old Testament, he might, although he was a former Protestant, but he converted probably 15, 20 years ago now. Must be 20. Let's see, Psalm. Okay, so it would come after. I'm getting confused here. Isaiah, here we go. Isaiah 22. It's a really nice Bible, though, but I don't know. Some of these commentaries are not as in depth as you would like. Okay, so here's Isaiah